Hello, on this video, I'm going to show you how to get the system information related to the operating system and then the host name, in particular, the hostname details. So this is video number 5. We have already covered video 1 through video 4. Video 1 was about how to power on the Linux virtual machine with Red Hat and Ubuntu, as well as get the OS version, log out, and power off the machine. Video number 2 was to install the Rocky Linux version as a virtual machine. And video number 3 was for the GUI, graphical user interface. Video number 4 was the terminal or command line interface, which I showed you Red Hat, Rocky Linux, and Ubuntu. And video number 5 today, I'm going to show you the hostname details. So let's get started. The first thing that I need to do is to just start one of the VM. In this case, I'm going to start MyWebUniversity virtual machine, which is Linux Ubuntu. That is my development version for the actual production, MyWebUniversity.com. The website Linux Linux Ubuntu is hosting this that I'm running on the cloud as a virtual machine, and not actually as the virtual machine, as a standalone Linux server, Ubuntu, and that's the production server here. I have the book available here online that you can learn all about Linux Ubuntu. Everything is chapter by chapter with examples and details online that you can practice it. All you need is internet access and a browser. You don't need to install any Linux operating system, any Docker, any VM, virtual machine, or any VMware, any Amazon Web Services. All you need, again, is just internet access, and just visit my website here, MyWebUniversity.com, and then go to this chapter or this table of contents, and then start learning. That's all you need. And then everything you can practice online, and then as well as get technical documentation, as well as examples, learn it by examples. So today's topic, as I'm showing you here, is the hostname detail. So let's just boot the MyWebUniversity hostname here, which is a Linux Ubuntu. So I'm going to power it on by clicking on the start button here. It's a virtual machine, and then I have about 16 gigabytes of memory for it, and then 4 processor allocated. The hard disk is about 100 gig, or it doesn't matter what you have allocated, as long as you're getting into the machine, you can just get the hostname detail here. So notice here the show button, I could get this one, and this notification, I can do this, and I click on the user ID, type in my password to authenticate to the Linux Ubuntu server. In this case is a virtual machine. So I'm right here logged on, and then I now can just open a terminal by right-clicking on here and just say open in terminal. There's many ways you can open a terminal here. You can also go on the start menu and just click on terminal here. That will do the same thing. Or just right-click here and just say terminal. So let's get started with this open terminal that we did. So as you can see here that I'm logged on, I'm going to do a Shift Control Plus, make the font a little bit bigger so you can see it better. My current working directory is on the desktop. So if I say pwd, it says print working directory is that. But I need to show you what's the host name. So when I type in host name, it shows MyWebUniversity.com. I can also get the host name by saying uname-n, meaning give me the node name. Uname-a give you uname-a give you everything. But if I just interested on the uname-s for a system name, or uname-revision, which is the build for it, or uname-o for operating system and system name, and also let's say, for example, -p for platform, -m for machine type. All these details are just showing here. But again, what I'm going to do here, say host name by itself, will give me the MyWebUniversity, and then also uname -n gave me that one. So if I just do cd here, meaning that drop me to my tilde, which is echo $home. Here you can see that it's my home directory. And when I was on desktop, I could do cd to tilde. That also tells me to go to the home directory. But also I could do the same thing, say cd to $home. That also takes me to home directory. So there's a number of ways to see it. And then echo $p print working directory also shows where I am at one point. So if I look at the cd to the desktop and then echo pwd, right here I did the pwd. Let me just type in again, echo and $pwd. It will just show that where I am at. So if I cd by itself and do the echo pwd, it shows there. Echo home also shows me that. So again, when you're on this directory, the host name is showing that, and then uname -n shows that, and then cat etc host name is also showing that file. Host ID is the hexadecimal value for the host name, MyWebUniversity, a string here. And then you can also do host name ctl, and then that also tell you that the name of the host is MyWebUniversity. And then the virtual machine, and this one is saying that it's a type of virtual machine, is a VM. The details are all here. You can run also top, and then you get the details of memory and other things. So let me just give you now a little bit more on the host name detail. So I'm going to quit out of this, quit clear screen, and I say first echo $ps1. So notice that by default this ps1 says wherever is the user /u is going to just do that Wahid, the user ID, because ID-UN is showing that. And @ is @ and then /h is the host name. So host name itself is going to show MyWebUniversity, and that's at MyWebUniversity. The next thing is this tilde, which is this /w. This is the home directory by default. If you're just changing to the desktop, this will show desktop. Like for example, say desktop. Now the pwd automatically, dynamically just say /w is here, desktop. So cd ... going back to the original one, and now I type in anything like pwd, it shows me where I am at, and I could say echo $home, it shows that one. Echo $pwd print working directory, env, egrep, let's say pwd or home. Those two, one you can just say environment command, pipe it to a egrep expression grep or extended grep. Grep stand for global regular expression print. And then pwd is one string that I was looking for, and I found it. And then home was the other one, and found those ones. So you can do many ways. Now, if I just look for similar things on host name here, and then cat etc host name. Also there, cat etc host file also has the information. Notice that if I just look for grep -i MyWebUniversity on that one, and then it will just highlight wherever it is there. Then one is fully qualified. Since it's a VM, it is just going to loopback interface. Clear screen IP A, it will just tell me the loopback interface. and this IP address, this interface name is at this IP address is assigned to it. And that's the 10.0.2.15 because I bridge it out using the virtual machine. On the virtual machine, when you go to setting, under the network, you see it's NAT, network address translation, and that is getting that subnet in there. So if I go back here and I show you, clear the screen, and say netstat -rn, you could see that detail. And then this is the gateway for it. So on top of the hostname information detail, I showed you a number of other commands because I want to make sure that you understand the basic of it. Now I'm going to do one more thing and I do export PS1 is equal, and then just put the $, instead of that detail of the user and group and everything. Now if I clear and I need to know my host name every time I come in to log into a machine. If I don't know the host name, my default .bashrc file here that is set up here, there's a file .bashrc grep -i ps1 and then .bashrc. Those environment variables are set. So every time I open a new one, the .bashrc opens up and I see that echo $ps1 is set to that value that I want to set. But if I close this one and I close this one also and just leave the one that I customize it back to echo $ps1, now I don't know what operating system, what hostname machine is there. So in order to know that one, I have to know this command hostname. And then in order to know what is my friend working directory, I have to know that one. In order for me to know the detail of identify myself, ID-UN, user ID and name, ID-group name. So these commands are helpful when you're looking for the system so you don't accidentally run a command in the wrong machine and deleting a file that you didn't want to delete, or just creating an account in the wrong machine or something. So be careful every time you are on a machine, type in hostname to first know where you are, type in friend working directory. To know where it is, type in ID-UN. Make sure that you understand that if you do switch user do su dash and then type in the root password, assuming that you wanted higher privilege, now you have that one. Notice echo $ps1 changed. So that is, if I say ID-UN, it says that I'm root. And then hostname again, it shows MyWebUniversity, and tell that is my current working directory of that. Get int password root. It shows that my home directory is slash, and that's why I get. So if I say echo $home, the environment variable is pointing to that one. And similarly, pwd is pointing to that one, and pwd and uppercase. And then pwd command itself is also pointing to that. So there's a number of ways you can see that one. I hope you learn something from this, and then you learn the environment, everything. And if I just change my PS1 here to say, just show me the pound, I don't need to know the host name and other ones. Clearing my screen, again, I need to type in hostname ctl, cat edc host, and then grep MyWebUniversity, like that, and then you can just get all the details accordingly. Cat etc host name itself, you will see that one, and then uname-n for the node name and so on. Okay, so I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you enjoyed it and have fun. Take care and God bless you all. Bye.